Welcome guys, so this is my third sealed Phyrexia Warby one. I'm going to play best of one today. I'd like to alternate between best of one and best of three. So we'll just look at our rares to start with. This is very interesting. I thought I'd opened the wrong sealed because I got a Sheoldred out of nowhere. Okay. Apparently you can get Dominaria United mythics in this set. I guess they reprint all of the Phyrexians, or maybe you have a chance of getting any Phyrexians from other sets. That's very weird. Okay, well that's nice. That's actually my first Sheoldred. I think I've opened about probably 150, well, the equivalent of 150 packs, and this is my first one, which is nice. Okay, well we know this is quite a good card. What else do we have? We have Ovika, Enigma Goliath. Oh look, this is familiar. So this is the guy on the in the picture when you go into the event. So 7 mana Phyrexian Nightmare for the flying. 6/6. Wow, ward 3 and pay 3 life. So quite challenging to remove. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn, and you get to keep them as well. Cool. So this is like the ultimate spells payoff card, I suppose. You just get a bunch of 1/1 hasters. Yeah, it seems pretty good. It's just can we get to 7 mana? Can we survive long enough to play this thing? We have Kemba, Kha Enduring. Let me just check everything's working. Yeah. Kemba, Kha Enduring. 2 mana, 2/2. It works with cats, apparently. Whenever Kemba or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Well, that's nice. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. And for 5 mana, create a 2/2 cat creature token. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got the Mycosynth Gardens again. I had this last time, so it can mana fix, but you have to pay 1 mana to do that. And you can pay X to copy target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. Pretty nice. Then we have another red card. We have Red Sun's Twilight. Red, red, and X. Destroy up to X target artifacts. If X is 5 or more for each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. Well, that'd be really great if my opponent has artifacts. But there's no guarantee my opponent's going to have artifacts. Then we have Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. So blue, green, and 2 for a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, proliferate twice. So for 7 mana, it's a 3/3, proliferate twice. And whenever you proliferate, draw a card. So you draw 2 cards if you pay 7 mana for this. It's a nice hand refiller. Well, drawing 2 cards is pretty good, but yeah, if you can get a lot of proliferate effects, that's pretty good. Right, first thing I'm going to do, we're going to do a search for some synergies. Sometimes this takes a long time for the client to actually load. So we'll give it a second. Yeah, I tell you what, it just takes quite a long time to load. So I'm going to go ahead and call it end of part 1, and I'll just I'll do a bit of research here and figure out what the best synergies are in my selection. But thanks for watching so far. And I'm back. So yeah, I have looked through. I've searched for several keywords. So this is an example of the poison cards I found, basically. And we've got, it's okay. We've got 5 white cards that can poison things. We've blue's not so good. Maybe, I don't think, yeah, Aspirant's Ascent is that good. Prologue is pretty good though. Just directly giving someone a poison counter. In black we've got, let's see, got Stinging Hivemaster, which is quite nice. Yeah, there are basically 4 cards in black. There's yeah, 4 in green as well. So white, black or white, green, toxic definitely could be an option. And I did a little survey of all the other keywords, and oil is quite impressive in this selection. We've got quite a lot of stuff in red and green, I think. So that's sort of my little sort of synergy roundup. Basically, I've done. What I'll do now is just go through colour by colour, and I'll do my usual thing. I sort using the BREAD acronym, but I think I'm particularly interested in bombs removal and maybe evasion. Also, cheap mana fixing as well as just an extra thing I throw in there, because that's always very useful for making the deck a bit more consistent. Right, so if we start with white, Jawbone Duelist. I like this card, it's good. I'd call this an aggro card. So we'll leave it to one side for the moment. Kemba. I mean, this guy's pretty cool. But he goes with a specific deck. Actually, arguably, this is a bomb because he can just make 2/2 creatures. You just get this late game. You get a 2/2 creature every turn. So yeah, that's good. This is removal. Basically, it's a pacifism. Resistance reunited. Target creature gets +2/+2 at the end of turn. Equipped creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So of course that's a really good card with the 4 Mirrodin deck. And I did search for that, and we've got a smattering of equipment. Let's see, in white we've got not very many. We've got 2 Mirren Bardishas. This is basically a 4/3 creature for 5 mana. That seems pretty pricey to me. I've heard good things about the deck. I don't know if they're using this card that much. But yeah, obviously the Hexgold Hoverwings is great. I think if you hit a critical mass of these cards, and you've got the cheap ones, and you've got the ones that reduce costs and give you bonuses, it can get good. I'm not sure if there's a good chance of getting the right cards in sealed. Anyway, so we have Veil of Assimilation. So artifacts are another thing. So you can go blue-white artifacts. I don't think I was. Yeah, we've got a few artifacts knocking around. I'm not sure if we have enough to make this good. Annex Sentry. Oh yeah, this is fantastic, isn't it? So this just exiles a creature. It's got 4 toughness as well, so it's quite resistant. So that is great. A creature that's also a removal spell. This is a removal spell. Does damage. Can do damage equal to the number of creatures you control. It also can make 2 creatures, which is not bad. They can't block, but it's a bit more pressure. This is an evasion creature. This guy's okay, but we'll skip him. This is a good removal spell. I used this in the last sealed, and getting to 6 mana wasn't that difficult. And I guess there's a few things that you might want to remove for 3 mana. There are quite a few good planeswalkers knocking around as well, so this could, for 3 mana, to take out a planeswalker, that's pretty good. This has got flying, so that's worth thinking about. Yeah, the Indoctrination Attendant's quite good because it makes an extra creature. I think, yeah, I think that's worth considering because it's getting 2 creatures for 1 card is pretty good. Right, so blue. We've got this combat trick, which can save your creatures. I don't usually include combat tricks. Counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. Probably completely useless in limited. But I imagine this is going to see play in legacy formats. Bring the Ending. Basically a removal spell. Escaped Experiment. I see, so this is artifact synergy here. Not that interesting though, it doesn't have proper evasion. Right, aha. Yes, so this guy becomes unblockable if it gets 4 oil counters, which not that easy to do. Well, it's easy if you have lots of non-creature spells, so I think that is interesting. Yeah, maybe not. I think we skip this one. Chrome Prowler, I do like this. So this, yeah, this can take out. It can tap down one of your opponent's creatures for a turn. It can flash into play and trade off with something, or take out something small. I think it's almost a removal spell. It's pretty good. Mesmerizing Dose is straight up removal. That can do a Proliferate. Not that exciting. Of course, we have Ovika, who is absolutely terrific. Azuri is also fantastic. Yeah, so maybe some kind of Temur Proliferate deck could be quite good. If we look at black, we have Duress. I don't think we play this. I mean, it's going to be pretty much a creature-based environment. This is going to whiff quite often, I would say. Right. Vat of Rebirth. Yeah. So this... Yeah, this is another thing. You have to build up to 4 oil counters. So it's a little bit like Ica Synthesizer. It triggers... You get oil counters when artifacts or creatures go to the graveyard. And it's... So 3 mana and tap. Remove 4 oil counters. And you actually get the creature card back from the graveyard to the battlefield. So that's pretty good, and you don't have to sacrifice it. You can reuse it. It all depends on how easy you can get oil counters onto it. But yeah, so it's we don't include this because it's obviously it's very dependent on other things for this to actually be good, including having a decent creature in the graveyard. Whereas Ica Synthesizer being unblockable, I think it's easier to make that, get that to 4 oil counters and make that unblockable. So I don't think we're interested in this one. Blightbelly Rat is quite nice, but we skip it. Scheming Aspirant is a really good payoff for Proliferate. It's direct damage. Direct damage is effectively evasion. So I think we include that. Bonepicker Skirge has flying. That's good. And it can get even better if you get to Corrupted. Chittering Skitterling. Quite interesting. So you can sack things to draw a card once you've got to Corrupted. I feel like that could be very good. It's because it is instant speed. You can do that in response to removal spells. But yeah, I think because it's dependent on Corrupted, I think I won't include that. Cutthroat Centurion is a sacrifice outlet, so it can pump to 4/4 if you sacrifice something. Stinging Hivemaster. Yep, another toxic creature. It leaves behind a mite when it dies, so that is quite good value. Quite efficient, but I think we'll skip it. So Vraska's Fall is removal, and it gives poison counters. We like that. Sheoldred, of course, is fantastic. It's direct damage, basically. I suppose you could... now, just thinking of that blue card. Unfortunately, this card doesn't give hexproof, but you could almost try... protect the Sheoldred style of deck. In fact, just a quick scan of my white cards. Alright, this only makes equipped creatures indestructible. Yeah. Okay. The Testament Bearer is good value. It replaces itself when it dies from your top 3 cards. So that's pretty good. The drawback is it's 1 toughness. Quite easy to kill this, especially with that black instant for 1 mana. But yeah, not bad. Things that replace themselves. I will skip it though, because it's even so it's filler really, Gulping Scrap Trap is also filler, I would say, but it is good filler. You can get 2 Proliferate triggers off of this to go with our Scheming Aspirant, so we have definitely some Proliferate options. Nimraiser Paladin. Yeah, I think I like this. This is enter the battlefield based card advantage rather than going to the graveyard. I think it's better than Testament Bearer, and I think it's worth considering. That Emergence gives us more Proliferate, and we like things like this that can potentially bring back a Sheoldred or an Avika. So yeah, that's interesting. I've left a few things out. So when I used to do this, I would include the aggro cards and the dross as well, the sort of curve filler. And the trouble is, that's almost every single card. But this is actually eliminating a few cards, kind of narrowing it down to the sort of the crucial things. So I like that. Right, red. So Churning Reservoir. This is a very good oil card. Nice and cheap, and it's just giving something an oil counter. It's powering up all of these things. And it can make a goblin for 2 mana whenever you remove an oil counter. Which, if you're playing an oil deck, should be pretty good. I think this is a very key card for the oil deck. So it's kind of a bomb for the oil deck. It's giving you a free resource every turn on anything. So I think this is pretty good, and it can make creatures. Right, free from flash. Combat trick, so we're going to ignore it. But it is good. It is good for the oil deck, this one. So this is another way of putting oil counters on things. As is Furnace Skullbomb, and that's a cantrip, which is quite nice. Barbed Matter Fist. So this is the cheap equipment creature. You get a 3/1, basically. So you probably want to, if you're going to go for the equipment deck, you probably want a couple of these. Blazing Crescendo. I have seen this. This is a very popular combat trick at the moment. So target creature gets +3/+1. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. So combat trick that gives you card advantage, and we managed to get 3 of them. That's very interesting. Because it's exiling what you are kind of worried. Okay, I'm probably playing a red-blue spells deck. I don't want to accidentally exile Avika and lose it. Still, pretty good. Hexgold Halberd. So that's actually another 2-drop equipment creature. That's a really good one. So 2/2 first strike trample, as long as it's your turn. So yes, it doesn't defend with first strike, but that would be a bit good. The Shrapnel Slinger's pretty good, so that can come into play, sacrifice something, destroy an artifact. It's good if they've got artifacts. I guess technically this is a removal spell, but only for artifacts, which is quite limiting. I'm not sure if that really counts, but it's a 2 mana 2/2. It's another Grizzly Bear, so It's not much cost to actually putting this in the deck. Maybe we include it. Bladegraft Aspirant. Yeah, this is a nice one for the equipment deck. So makes all your equipment cheaper. So all of these things just cost 1 red. And equipping the Bladegraft is cheaper. Okay. So that's quite a key card for the equipment deck, I suppose. Just making everything cheaper. I think it's kind of a bomb for that deck. So we'll include that. Right. Yeah. This guy has a kind of evasion ability. It's costs him 2 oil counters. He only builds up oil counters if your other creatures go to the graveyard and get artifacts. Making creatures unable to block is kind of like an evasion ability. Arguably, this guy is quite interesting, especially in the oil. Well, yeah, for the oil deck anyway. Coldotha Crackler, 2/3 trample, gets +X/+0, where X is the number of opponents you control with oil counters on them. And trample is an evasion ability, so we are interested in this. Volt Charge is removal, so 3 damage, and Proliferate. That's nice. Hazardous Blast, very interesting. 1 damage to all your opponent's creatures, and they can't block. So it gives your entire team evasion. That's good. Molten Rebuke. This is the 5 mana removal, does 5 damage to something, and can destroy equipment. So that's good. Ooh, Resistance Skywarden. That's not bad, is it? 5 mana for a 5/5 Menace Reach. That's just very good. It's got evasion, it can stop flyers. Fantastic. And then Red Sun's Twilight. It's one of these, only good if my opponent has artifacts, so it's probably actually worse than the Shrapnel Slinger. If my opponent has no artifacts, this is completely useless. So it's a bit of a risk playing it. Unless you have a way of discarding and drawing cards. So yeah, red on that evidence looks quite good, to be honest. Yeah, I've included 11 red cards. And we look at green. And immediately we've got 3 Rustvine Cultivators. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, this guy play on turn 1, and it's turn 3 really before it's making you mana. But it's still pretty good. It can sort of give you that extra point of mana when you need it, and it's also fueling your oil strategy, your oil payoffs. It's untapping lands. It's not cheap mana fixing, but it's sort of cheap ramp. So I'll leave that to one side for the moment. But pretty good for the oil deck. Yeah, also this guy's fine. Good for the oil deck as well. And then we've got a pretty nice combat trick. +4/+4 is pretty significant. 2 of those. You could include this, but yeah, it is a combat trick, so it's got that problem. You kind of want to respond to your opponent with this rather than open with it, because then they can respond with an instant and get a 2-for-1. Adaptive Spore Singer. Right, so this can give +2/+2 and Vigilance. that, in a way, that's very close to evasion. You're making a creature too big to block, and it doesn't have to tap. So I think this is really good. This is sort of pseudo evasion. Viral spawning. Yeah, the 3/3 toxic 1, and it can come back when you have corrupted. So that seems like very good value in that kind of deck. I think I like that. Lattice Blade Mantis comes in with 2 oil counters. So you can see what I mean. I've got loads of oil things. So this is basically going to get Vigilance when you remove an oil counter, and it's 5/4. It's quite a good deal for 4 mana. But I think we skip it. Plague Nurse is the one with Toxic 2, and it can pump every toxic creature by 1 toxic, which is quite nice in a toxic deck. It's 4 mana for a 3/4. So it's slightly better than Hill Giant as well, and it's Toxic 2. It's pretty good. But yeah, it doesn't have evasion. Tyrannak's Atrocity, Haste, Toxic 3. Definitely pretty good. My last deck had 3 of these. Tried to wrap them out. Yeah, potentially pretty good, but so you could say Haste is a form of evasion. So yeah, maybe we include that. The Sky Scything Golfer I include because it has Reach and Trample, so that's big evasive creature. And then we have this interesting card, Silvok Battle Chair. Equipped creature gets +4/+4 and has Trample, so it's a 6/6 Trample for 6. It gives evasion, and you can even equip it for 7 mana. It turns out giving something +4/+4 and Trample is probably quite powerful, so it has to cost 7. But hey, Trample is an evasion ability, so yeah, that's quite an impressive top end for the green deck. And there's all these, oil cards we can just chuck in if we want to make the oil deck. I like the 2 Titanic Growths with all of this Trample as well. Then we have colourless things, Mycosynth Garden. There's really no drawback to playing this. It can copy an artifact, like it could even copy a Silvok Battle Chair. It will not get the enter the board effect of making a token. I'm just going to have a look through to see if there's any amazing artifacts we could copy. Phyrexian Might, Hexgold Hoverwings, gives flying, so it's pretty good. Chrome Prowler. So yeah, we don't have many amazing artifacts, I would say. Oh, the Annex Sentry. That is an amazing artifact to copy. Except the amazing part of it is an enter the battlefield effect, which we won't be able to copy. That's unfortunate. Ditto with this guy. Churning Reservoir, however, that would be amazing if we could copy that. Quite cheap to copy that as well with Mycosynth Gardens. Getting just 2 free oil counters every turn. Anyway, looking at these guys, we've got Atrax's Skitterfang, and this is a great card. It can give something. It's got 3 oil counters, and it's basically can give something flying for 3 turns. So that's a really good evasion card. Myr Kinsmith. Gives you card advantage if you have Myr cards, and I think these are the only 2 Myr cards I have. I think, and I did do a search for that as well. I'm going to just have a look at these lands. We have 2 autonomous furnaces. There's a fairly good chance we're going to be playing red. There's absolutely no... Well, there's little drawback to playing these, so I think we consider those as well. So we've gone through all of that. We've just had a look really at bombs, removal, evasion. And this is the result. So, yeah, we ended up with 11 red cards, 7 green. And there's quite a lot of filler. There is 3 elves we can add to the green deck. So it seems odd to sort of maybe ignore Sheoldred, but we could... The most cards we've got are in green and red. Yeah, well, certainly blue and black look a bit weak. So it's worth looking at what we're leaving out in blue. Nothing amazing. There is a proliferate theme. So I think it's quite easy here to just cut blue. Except they do have Azuri, which is amazing. Yeah, there's a couple of things that proliferate. Let's just cut this card. Let's be strong. I don't think we can, with this selection of blue cards, I don't think we can justify playing blue. And ignoring red, potentially. That's right, we do have a very good blue card, Avika. And it's looking like we've got not much in the way of mana fixing. Well, Mycosynth Gardens can mana fix. Well, that's about it, because those green elves just untap land. Yeah, I think we just I think we have to cut this. And then let's think about black. Do we just cut all of these black cards? We have the protect the Sheoldred idea. Bring it back with Vat Emergence. Right. Let's just be bold and cut Sheoldred for the moment. We only got 1 black removal card. That is... You're kind of relying on black to provide a bit of removal, I think. And I'd had this in the last sealed as well. I had 0 black removal cards. And there are some, as you can see, there are some absolutely ridiculously overpowered creatures that you need to kill, or you're going to lose. So I think we do need a bit of removal. White is quite good. It's got 3 removal cards. 2 planar disruption, vanish into eternity. I don't think green got any removal, apart from combat tricks. So we'll look at the other white cards. So yeah, they've got the toxic idea. I don't think it's the best toxic deck I've ever seen that's available. But it's just, yeah, the strength is in the removal. This guy's pretty good. There's maybe a playable equipment deck here as well. But I think this is the strongest selection of oil cards I've seen. So that's actually, yeah, and that takes us down to 34 cards. So if we look at red and green, got that Blazing Crescendo, free from flesh to add some oil counters. Furnace Skull Bomb can do that and draw me a card. We want all 3 Rustvine Cultivators, I think. That only leaves room for 3 things. I think we rule out Plague Nurse. We're not trying to poison here, which probably means if we're not going for poison, we probably drop the Atrocity. We don't need a lot of big creatures. And if we're not going for toxic, we could drop Viral Spawning. Oh, that's right. This is just for the equipment deck as well, so we drop that. And we're going for the oil deck, so I think we play a Predation Steward. Lattice Blade Mantis. Let me just see if we've got room for a bunch of combat tricks. So, Blazing Crescendo. Do we play that or Free from Flesh? Because if we're an oil deck, we probably want to play this. Maybe an oil deck wants to play both of these. And we've got we're kind of a ramp deck. We're trying to play some big creatures. So I'd be concerned that this is going to remove an important creature. Which I'm probably, it's probably a lot of the time going to give you card advantage. But that, yeah, I can't sort of shake that idea. So I notice we're very low on 2-drops. This is not, 2 2-drops is not the right number. How many creatures do we have? 13. Yeah, we're low on creatures, so think that's quite good. Quite a good 2-drop, and that's quite a good 2-drop. And we end up leaving out Titanic Growth, which seems wrong, but I guess that's got... do have quite a lot of 3-drops. But yeah, that's got evasion, that's the word I'm looking for. Right, I think I will... I'll call that end of part 2. I think that's a pretty decent first pass at a deck. We've had to leave out Sheoldred of all things. We'll check. I seem to have a record of just leaving out every rare and mythic. So yeah, the only one we're including is Mycosynth Gardens. The nice thing about the artifacts that bring a creature with them counts as a non-creature spell. So you can still have a creature deck with non-creature spells. So I think there's an argument for splashing a Vika here, chucking in a couple of islands. But it's annoying that I didn't hit any mana fixing this time. Anyway, as I was saying, end of part 2. So thanks for watching so far. And I'm back. So as you can see, I've gone for the Orzhov deck. The reasoning is just based on removal. White has got some quite strong removal. So we've got 2 planar disruption, Charge of the Mites, Annex Sentry, and Vanish into Eternity. So 5 removal within white, and then really we're just playing black because black for Sheoldred, and we can also reanimate Sheoldred. So we're going for a sort of reanimate the Sheoldred style of deck, and we've had to just fit in whatever's available there. So I've got the I'm going to try the Scheming Aspirant. We don't have very many ways to proliferate. We've got the rat. We've got 2 of these gulping scrap traps. I'm also going to try out Vat of Rebirth. So it seems a bit risky because it's it only does something if you've got 4 oil counters on it, but hopefully, a bit of the proliferate will help in that respect. But yeah, it's we'll see if we can get that working, I suppose. Yeah, so I think this is the one to go for. I think the red-green one is nice, but I think it only had 2 removal spells. It didn't sort of fill me with confidence. This feels like quite a Prince format. There's a lot of big nasty things, so I feel like you want to err in favour of removal spells. In sealed, you just want to play as many removal spells as you in the 2-color combination that has the most. Okay, it's a 2-lander. Well, we have a 2-drop. We have removal. We have both colours, so we will gamble on this one. Okay. So it looks like they... Oh, he's got the rare one. Oh, it's so laggy. Yeah, so this, well, first of all, we top deck a swamp, which is fantastic. Right. Okay, well, I will just play my Aspirant. Duelist. So you can give that hexproof from black, and it can attack in. We top decked another land, so we're doing pretty well for land. I feel like I want to give this planar disruption. It's going to be quite easy to make that unblockable. Oh yeah. Oops. I didn't fully appreciate how that worked. Obviously that is you can do that for free because it's Phyrexian mana. Never mind. So yeah, this literally turn 1 Scrawl Defector Might is the worst thing imaginable. There's nothing you can do about it. And you're basically stuffed. Yeah, we'll let that through. Okay, let's see. Resistance reunited. Oh yeah, it's just only equipped creatures get. So he can just make this hexproof, so it can't be blocked. Flensing Raptor, would that do anything? Okay, I think I'll get the extra creature out rather than rely on a combat trick. Yeah, that's right. Got to remember this only targets toxic things. So he gets to bounce something, he can bounce this back to pump again. Let's see. We could swing in the air to give him a poison counter, and then I can play my scrap trap. I'm going to go for it. Okay, yeah, that works. It's a shame we couldn't get an oil counter on there, but can't have everything. Okay, something's getting pumped up. You can give it hexproof from black. So, take 6 and get 2 poison. There's the option here. Or trade off the scrap trap. I'm going to say no blocks. So we're corrupted now officially. Maze Skull Bomb. Oh, that also pumps things up. Sure. Why not? You can always make this unblockable when it's going to do lethal damage. So that's going to get through with 8 damage. Sure, so that's going to get to 4/4. We'll go next. No attacks. Potentially my Raptor could block it if he's going to make it hexproof to black. Yep, sure enough, it's going to be that one. So I like how his double strike has had 3 pump spells played on it, basically. Everything's just come together perfectly for this guy. Along with an absolutely broken 1-drop on turn 1. It's gonna be what? White or black? Black, okay. Fair enough. Pass 2 attackers. And that one as well, okay. You go there. You go there. So he's going to save one of his guys with the combat trick. That's pretty much on the cards here. Right, 2 blockers. Zealot's Conviction. Okay. So that's going to get +1/+1. That's going to get that's going to get first strike. So I could beat his combat trick here. But I could also kill his double striker, which is quite good. Oh, my mistake, of course. It's only equipped creatures that get indestructible. So I was completely wrong about thinking I could block that anyway. So I've got to... The only thing that works is this one. Glad I spotted that little problem. Okay. Well... yeah, he didn't leave play. That's why it didn't proliferate. I was confused for a second there. So he just gives this, makes this unblockable, and I get 2 poison counters, and I lose. Great. Seems fair. Right. Oh, he's not even got 3 poison yet. Never mind. Good game. Yeah, I really need to like read my cards and understand them better. If I noticed that, oh yeah, it's only equipped creatures to get indestructible. Then I immediately forgot that and thought I could, yeah, trade off with this double striker. Never mind. I think we immediately have a look at this because basically this is just +2/+2. It's just a bad combat trick. I think maybe I want another creature instead. I like Testament Bearer because it replaces itself. That's definitely something. I don't want to play Vraska's Fall that much because I'm also playing Planar Disruption. It just gives him an easy thing to sacrifice. So, yeah. I suppose Leonian Lightbringer's quite good, but we only have one equipment. It's just a 3/2 with Ward 3, Ward 2, I mean. I think the Testament Bearer is the best one because it replaces itself. So I am prepared for the 0/3 here. It's just what after that experience, it's just, you know, it just feels like it's not my day. Right. It's fine. We're going to start on turn 3. This is the expensive removal spell. This does damage equal to a number of creatures. So it's not the best start. It's pretty slow. My removal's just not going to come online until quite a lot later. Now that's nice. We top deck to 2-drop. This guy's mostly going to be a... So he's mostly going to be a grizzly bear. Occasionally he's going to make cat tokens for me. So we've got the Skirge. Do we play Flensing Raptor? Do we play a Scheming Aspirant? Well, we'll play the Flensing Raptor because that costs 3. It's a flyer. He's got 3 colours. And this time we've bricked on land. We didn't get any more land. Okay, sure, you've got removal. Fine. Okay, cool. We have a land. Fantastic. I'll go straight for the Testament Bearer. Counterspell? No, good. Whisper of the Frost, sure. 2 removal spells. That's absolutely normal. Okay, now Vat Emergent. I could get the land. Play Vat Emergence. And Mycosynth Gardens maybe could copy an artifact. Yeah, I think getting my 5th land is not a bad deal. Sure, you've got a... You've got a Planeswalker and you play it on curve. Sure. Love it. Right.
The upper hand now.
It's given you... Okay. Vanish into eternity, exile target non-land permanent. Well, this is what this was designed for. It's just going to draw him an extra card every turn. It's a one-way Howling Mine. And we'll play the Aspirant. Chittling, skittling, so this is... Okay. Proliferate, put me on 3 poison, sure. And he's out of hands. Out of hands? Out of cards. Mycosynth Gardens is the same as mine. We can copy an artifact. No artifacts in play at the moment. Okay. So our Vat Emergence could bring back a Testament Bearer. That's quite good value. That's right. This thing can sacrifice things. We'll play a flyer to try and block his flyer. I guess that's pretty simple. Oh yeah, that proliferates as well. So it's another little 2-point drain life when we do that. This can copy the Hexgold Hoverwings, so it'll be an extra equipment. It won't give me the... I won't get the come into play effect, of course. The Rot Priest. Oh, again, additional poison counter. Things with Toxic can get Death Touch. Luckily, he didn't do very well in terms of other things with Toxic. Charge of the Mites can just... Well, it can kill his Scourge, but he can sacrifice it in response and draw a card, which is annoying. Okay. Vat Emergence proliferates, but I haven't got anything to proliferate at the moment. So that can give itself Death Touch. This is the big problem I have. I might have to trade 2 creatures to block that. I think we'll do the Vat Emergence on the Testament Bearer. We'll submit 0, hopefully we still get the 2-point drain life. Yeah, we do. That's cool. And I might have to just double block this thing. But he's only got 1 power, so hopefully he only kills 1 of my guys. Yeah. No attacks. Charge of the Mites does 3 damage. Right. Okay, well let's try and copy an artifact. It's a pretty exciting moment. I've never used this before. Okay. 4. Let's do that one. Okay, it becomes a tapped version of that, sure. Okay, other equipped creatures get +1. So I'm good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to attack. Okay, maybe... Should we go in with this? See if he wants to trade. Okay. And I can equip that on somebody. Like that. Even when it's tapped. Okay, charge of the mites. We can do 3 damage to that. Swing in for 10. We could do that. I think actually swing in with just Testament Bearer. No, we've got to use this on defense. We'll swing in with this guy again. Okay. No, it's going to let it through. Okay. I think I'll hold a swamp. Okay. Block. View. Combat trick. Yeah, combat trick. 9 toughness. Actually, I can do him 3 damage. As long as I do this now, it will do 3 damage. Just hope he doesn't have a second combat trick. Oh, right. Ah, yes. Sheoldred. That's also good. Wow, so many good things. Okay, I'll have to go for Sheoldred. Okay, let's swing in this guy. Okay. Play Sheoldred. Let's pop flying onto something. Sheoldred, yeah. Oh, he's got the battle chair. Oh, nice. That's a 6/6 trample, by the way. So, it doesn't have reach. Pop that on you. And swing in for 9. Down to 1. It's a reach creature. Okay, good game. Well, we found Sheoldred. So, pretty happy about that one. We actually, yes, he did have a Planeswalker, but we immediately blew it up, so that was fine. Okay, it's not going to be a 0-3, so that's something. Okay, 2-drop, 3-drop, 5-drop, and 4 lands. Let's keep those. Got that. Has to be non-token artifact. We can copy Skitterfang. Got the Annex Sentry, which is absolutely amazing. Okay. So that is ramp, but it's quite expensive in terms of your life total. For your attacks, I don't want to trade off. I want to get a. I'm going to give him a poison token first. Okay, okay. Well, the Skitterfang can give the rat flying. But it leaves me quite vulnerable, I think. It would get him a poison counter, and then I'd feel better about when the rat actually dies. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Are we really going to do this? This seems like such a terrible idea, but I'm going to give it flying and give him that poison token. That's my Raptor, so that can get it through for 4 damage. No blocks. I'll get my 3 poison. Sure. I love it how every single time against these guys, the guys they've had a pump spell of some kind. Right. Okay. Planes. We're gonna take away the duelist here. Yeah, that's right. I've got my own duelist. We just know he's got another way of pumping it up, so that's probably the sensible thing to do. Yeah, okay. Let's give the rat something. Lifelink. What we didn't do, of course, was take out his flyer, which is going to be... We have no answer to the flyer. So it might not have been the best idea. Right, the scrap trap can proliferate, which is cool. I think we want to do that before this guy runs out of oil tokens. Do we want to send something in? Or do we want to defend with the rat? We just send the rat in like this. Doesn't need a token. Good. That's an okay trade. Five poison. Yeah, he's just got a whole deck of flyers. Lucky old him. We can give this guy lifelink, which is quite cool. That guy's got death touch though. That's a little bit of a problem there. Okay, so I think yes. Target this. Give it lifelink. Attack with both of these. Okay. Combat trick to give him first strike. Nice. For 1 mana. So I don't get any life points. Okay. So the plan was I was going to do a bit of homework and look at all of the combat tricks, but we do keep seeing this one. Okay. And right, Blightbelly Rat can come back. Yeah, let's do that one. So we lost to the flyers. That's pretty clear. It keeps this, of course. And he has another creature as well. Amazing. He's on 26 life. So, yeah. Oh, both of these have got lifelink. That's why he's got so much life. That makes sense. Let's try the Mycosynth Gardens and copy a Traxxer just because it's kind of interesting. That's 3. Doesn't have any org counters, that's the only trouble. It's just a 2/2 creature. I'll have a Blightbelly Rat as well. Yeah. Creature you control. We can get a lifelink. Attack. For what it's worth. But yeah, early on I think I had that dodgy... I wanted to play a Traxxer and give him a poison token, but it meant I got 3 poison tokens early on. Not sure why I did it, but I think I wanted to get value from the rat proliferating, so I could give an oil counter to the creature and another poison counter. Anyway, but yeah, I think he had too many flyers there, and I don't think that was very winnable. 2020 hindsight, I've used my removal creature on his flyer. Didn't realise he was going to get like two more flyers after that. Well, we'll get maybe a turn 2 Jawbone Duelist. Okay, so it's mulligan once. Go with this duelist. Alright, 2 swamps. Doesn't seem like a good trade, trading off with the rat, so I won't attack in. I'll play my skittling. We have Sheoldred. That seems like a good draw. I feel like swinging in with the duelist here. See if he blocks. I'll pretend I've got a combat trick. Trade off with the rat. Then I'll play Sheoldred. At least I've got one other creature if he has the sacrifice card. He's found his white mana. Now, do I attack? Do I know the combat tricks? There's definitely a Death Touch indestructible combat trick. So I think no. But I will attack with a chittering skittling. Okay, he has a 4/3 creature. He's tapped out. So he could double block and kill Sheoldred. This can go on the flyer to make a 3/2 flyer, which is quite nice. Just go in with the Testament Bearer. He's going to trade the flyer. I'm happy with that. Okay, Annex Sentry. We'll play in our disruption. Annex Sentry just takes out his token. Kha Enduring. He can start making cats next turn, which is pretty cool. Now he's got a board wipe. That's what I'm thinking. But I've got some backup if he does have a board wipe. That's 4 to equip. It's not cheap. Okay. Well, there you go. Second game I get Sheoldred is my second win. It's a 2-lander. We're going second, so we're drawing that extra card. We do have a 2-drop, so I think this is a keep. We've got a 3-drop, a couple of removal spells that cost 3. This one usually costs 6. Usually you want to kill a creature. Perfect, we draw an extra land. That's not so nice. That's 2 mana, 2/1 flyer. Those often just win games. Though we should be able to shoot it out of the sky with 1 damage from this next turn. Problem with this, if he can instantly kill my guy in response, he can basically make this do 0 damage. Also, this comes back from the graveyard. It might be a very good target for the Annex entry, which we've just drawn. I'm going to attack with the Aspirant. Counterspell, maybe? Yeah, counterspell. Bring the ending. Love these 3-color decks that are running counterspells. Getting away with it. Oh well. Right. Testament Bearer. I don't want to risk this yet, so go for that. Keep this back to defend as well. Still has counterspell mana up. Right, I'm on 3 now. So the problem is, yeah, this is no longer a quench. It's now it's a full-on counterspell. Oh well. But I've got 2 creatures now. I think I'm going to play a Blightbelly Rat first. It might be a mistake, but I'm going to do it. And we'll see if he's got counterspell number 2 in his sealed deck. Of course, he only needs Proliferate to bring it back. That's the other issue. Do we attack with this? Yeah. It's not going to get through at any point. I think I may as well trade it off for one of his creatures and get a card. going to let it through. Yeah. If he does get this flyer back, we can always do this. We can always exile it for when we get to 6 mana. No. Yeah. Okay. No. We got to 6 mana. Okay. I think it's Testament Bearer and Blightbelly Rat going in. He's actually 4 colours, and he's running counter spells. Fair play. Right, so this just gets bigger and bigger. This could be a problem. If its power is great, or if it has greater power or toughness than the adaptive, you put an oil counter on. Right. So it is conditional to some extent. Okay, 5 mana. Archfiend of the Dross, nice. That's what we're leading up to. Okie doke. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life. So that's not very nice. But when this guy runs out of oil counters, he loses the game. Which it would be very funny if he lost the game to it, because I did a planar disruption on it. I just don't like losing 2 life whenever my creatures die. That's not fun. But no, I've got to go for the slightly more amusing option, the planar disruption. And we'll send in just the Testament Bearer. Gets through. Okay. And end the turn. That's getting a planar disruption. That's good. That card has done a very good job for me. Okay, yeah, this is a good one. 3/3, and he gets a land. Okay. Okay, Gulping Scrap Trap. Seems good. Let's proliferate, and of course, we'll knock him down to 3 life. I won't target myself. No attacks. Alright, so this is the rare with hexproof. Has That's 4 oil counters. So yeah, so much for trying to deal with that one. I've already had to run into deal with this guy before. Maybe this just kills me. So we'll have 3 on his turn. But I can chump block with the Blightbelly Rat. Right, no attacks. He's got to try and beat me here, I think. So I could planar disruption something to slightly help me out. Yeah, I think I'll do this on the Evolving Adaptive. That's getting very scary. I can also get rid of the planar disruption now I think about it. So it gets to attack with Hexproof 1 turn, and then after that it's just got Trample. Oh wow, that's nice. And that's got Hexproof as well, just for extra fun. So his 4-color deck is running Kaya with double black, double white. Sure, why not? Get to attack with your Archfiend of the Dross. So I can't, yeah, she's Hexproof, I can't get rid of her, unfortunately. Oh, what did he do? Well, it's now, yeah, he was going to lose to that, I guess. That was his concern there. Makes sense. He's not attacking. Okay. Right. My turn. So he can just do a 3-point drain life every turn with Kaya and keep himself alive that way, which I've got to say is pretty annoying. I could take planar disruption off here and have a little attack. But I can also do that to the Spinoderm. I think maybe I just have to eat this 3-point drain life. I think he's got maybe too many defenses up. Okay, no attacks. End turn. Certainly a challenging game. He's got Evolved Spinoderm and Kaya, an Archfiend of the Dross. So that's no longer got Hexproof, which is good news. This is actually going to lose him the game, which is interesting. Yep, that's reasonable.
That's just a start.
Now, what's he going to cast now? Is it Atraxa? Is that why he's got these 4 colours? I'm not sure of the colours of Atraxa. I know it's 4 colours though. Ooh, nice. Okay. So you can mill people and do stuff, make creatures weaker. Great. That's tapped, so it's not a blocker. Of course, this is a chump blocker he can use. If I do decide to attack him. Yeah. Okay, pass to attackers. Right, so this has got trample. Definitely it got a little bit complicated. Oh, he's not doing anything. Okay. We kind of want to not attack and let him lose to Archfiend of the Dross and hope that he doesn't have... But that's 3 more turns, and that's going to be 9 points of drain life. Yes. She's on so much loyalty, though. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, it's not so easy, this one. Okay, my turn. Let's go over to my turn. Draw a card. Okay, it's a Swamp. Sure. Right. So the options are get rid of the Spinoderm, get rid of the big blocker, attack in, try and do as much to Kaya as I possibly can. Right, I can't do very much. I'll lose something. I'll do about 1 damage to Kaya. Or I could take out Jace and just gradually lose to Kaya. 4 turns time. But that'll go down to 2, then 1, and then bam. I think I just have to not attack and hope Archfiend of the Dross kills him. Okay, we are not attacking. No attacks. But you might want to vanish this into eternity anyway. Okay, end turn. Too hard. This is going to die anyway, by the way. So that's going to die next turn anyway. Does have trample, so that can get another 3 damage through. Draw 2 cards, and I can scry 1. Okay. Another creature. It gives me a flyer to block with. That's probably good, and I can copy it with Mycosynth Gardens. Okay. He doesn't have a way of sacrificing a creature, right? No, he can just exile the Archfiend, right? Is that right?
Become subdued.
Okay, I think he can just exile the Archfiend with Kaya. Okay. Okay, sure, that's going to attack. That makes sense. So, past the blockers, and we just block this with a Blightbelly Rat. And take 4 damage. But but then hopefully get 2 damage back and get him to 3 poison, right? Submit 1. Oh, and I lose 2 life because I lost a creature. I forgot about that. Yes. Ah. Okay. Very interesting, right. Okay. Use this to sacrifice my... No, don't do it, don't do it. My turn. Obviously, I'm going to top deck this. Then I want to sacrifice this. Oh, and I lose 2 life. Oh, gosh. There's a lot going on. Atraxa can give something flying for what it's worth as well. Flensing Raptor. Bonepicker Skirge. There's Death Touch and Lifelink built in. Yeah. Okay, I think I like Bonepicker Skirge here. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's do a Bonepicker Skirge. Got 6 mana. Okay, let's do the Hexgold Hoverwings. So we're going to assemble a bit of an army here and try and kill him next turn. No attacks. This should go away now. X equals 7.
A minor setback to Phyrexia's plan. All your
Oh, right. I only had 7 cards left.
for nothing.
He was paying attention. Okay. So sure. So Kaya, Jace, what else was it? Archfiend of the Dross and Evolved Spinoderm in this game. That's fun. 2020 hindsight, yes, should have used this to get rid of Jace. I was thinking, oh yeah, he does some kind of milling thing. I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, that was I was more worried about the 3-point drain life every turn, but obviously I was wrong about that. Lots, but that was a fun match. Lots to sort of pick over there. Yeah, obviously 100% should have killed Jace when he hit the field. I was still thinking about, when he hit the field, I was still thinking I need the removal to kill the Blastoderm. Then I realised the Blastoderm runs out of tokens and dies. And I was thinking Archfiend of the Dross might run out of tokens and he'll lose the game, but then Kaya can still remove a token creature and exile it. Right. Anyway, let's look at the deck there. the 2 games I got Sheoldred, I won, funnily enough. Game 1, I lost to the rare Might on turn 1, and then, of course, he followed up with Jawbone Duelist. I tried to do Planar Disruption, and then that's when I realized, oh yeah, it's Phyrexian mana to use the Disruptor Might, so he could just pay 2 life. My Planar Disruption didn't work, so I lost that game. I had the 2 games with Sheoldred. Had that game, so he ran into 4 rares in his 4-color deck. He had an early counterspell as well, I think, to stop my my Annex Sentry. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Got into very interesting game state there. That's right, there was a crucial point. There's the choice between Planar Disruption on Archfiend of the Dross or just Vanish into Eternity. The problem with the Planar Disruption, I was going to keep losing 2 life whenever one of my creatures died. But I thought Planar Disruption might be funny. I didn't know that he had Kaya coming up that could do a 3-point drain life every turn, that could exile his own Archfiend of the Dross. And then Jace as well, just thrown into the mix. But potentially I could have weathered all of that and maybe still won, I think. Definitely with... I never used my Vanish into Eternity in the end, it just sat in my hand. Had to... The only choice there was Jace. The only choice that made sense. Because his big green creature was going to run out of oil counters and die. But I was also thinking I could maybe take out a blocker and get in for lethal, but no. I think you had to take out Jace with this. Oh well. We finished on 2 and 3. Alright, I think that is the video. Thanks for watching.